Individual drill, 6 minutes.
God, was it you? You did like this, man. Was that you right there?
That was crazy.
We're in Alpharetta, Georgia for the men's and women's Olympic training camp. We have just between Jordan Burroughs and Jaden Cox, we have 7 gold medals between those two. And today, they're contributing to the U.S. team as training partners. They're not on the Olympic team, but they're here to help their teammates succeed. But I make this point again, between the two of them, they have 7 world and Olympic gold medals, which is an amazing thing. Just on the men's freestyle team, between what turned out to be 3 weight classes and 5 competitors, we had 13 world and Olympic gold medals between those 5 individuals. And only 3 of them made the team. The other 2 are in the room.
Sorry.
Please help.
And then once he's here, I'm looking for him to come up to his knees and like grab me. So he's showing me fast. Yeah. And once he's here, now he can't come up. Right. And then I roll his heel here like this. And now I'm gonna start rolling this way. Okay, okay. Over the top.
How you feel, Rex? Feel all right? You okay?
Let's not do that too often.
I know for a big guy, he'll probably break in half.
I was wrong. I think I've only seen it once. I saw someone from Illinois do it once.
Like you can do it in a tilt fashion, just rolling through if you want. For a cradle, I shoot this hand.
The wrestling, there's this concept where people think that it's all about what I'm willing to do to somebody else, when it's more about what are you willing to do for yourself. You know, what are you willing to put yourself through? What are you willing to do right? You know, what are you willing to fight past, grind through? If you're not willing to do all that stuff for yourself, be in the right position, take the shot, you know, embrace the fight, embrace the difficult situations and everything. It doesn't matter what you're willing to do to this other person.
I let him slide out a little bit, probably because he's in pain, but then now there's room.
For you to maneuver.
Yeah, there's a lot of room for me to slide underneath now. Look how tight I can get this.
When you get on top of a guy, the whole key is putting him under as much duress as you can, and that.
I like it.
How cool is that Jordan Burroughs is here?
It's inspiring more than it is anything to see the guy that led and carried our flag for the last 10, 12 years. I don't care what anybody says, it's devastating when you don't make that team, especially to be there. Remember the last 2 world titles? I mean,
Sure.
Those are heartbreakers for anyone. That would be lifetime.
Sure.
He's here. So it's good for USA Wrestling because we're going to have Jordan Burroughs one way or another back in our line.
That's a leader. That's a leader move right there.
I cling to hope. I choose to be proactive as opposed to responsive in difficult situations, right? Circumstances aren't ideal. You got to be in here with the guy that stole your dream, and you know you got to essentially root him on and hope for the country to do well. It's not a favorable position that I'm in, but also I've had so many victorious days that I understand that there was a guy on the other side of all those victories that I've had that went home in despair. You forget about that. I've got 3 kids at home, 1 on the way, and I expect all of them to be athletes, and I have to be the living embodiment of what it looks like to show sportsmanship at all times, to be a display of grace and discipline. So I'm here. I'm not going to spend time at home. I'm not going to get any better. I got to be here with the best guys in the world. It's not great for my pride, not great for my ego, but it's good for my wrestling and for my humility, so I'm happy to be here. This is a character developing week for me, so it's good.
What's it like to be in the room with the guy that is going to take your spot?
It sucks. It sucks. But it's what it is. I watched Kyle Dake come to a lot of training camps over the last decade where he wasn't the guy. Look at this room. There's 6 Olympians on the freestyle team. There's about 30 guys here. So there's 24 other guys that didn't get a chance to make their dreams come true this summer. Realistically, it's a very small percentage of guys that get to represent the Stars and Stripes in Tokyo this summer. I'm tough. That's it. I'm just tough. I walk with humility. I'm a man of faith. I got a good family, good supporting cast. I move on.
Boom. It's a done deal now, right? As opposed to if you do this, the guy that's the most fundamentally sound is going to have the most opportunities to not only get his offense off, but defend. And I'm talking from the simplest things like controlling tie-ups, sprawling, squaring your hips when the guy gets to your leg, reactions and parterre. So pretty much some fundamental things that you start off learning at a young age, they show up at the older age as well. Never ends. Every single day they're looking for the perfect practice, and that's kind of what's the frustrating thing about it, is that you never find it. You never find that perfect practice, but you continually search for it. Worst case, you go so hard, you work so hard that you fatigue your body so much that you know you pay the price to deserve to win the gold medal.
You haven't got confirmation yet.
You should have got it.
I'm the head coach of Titan Mercury, and we got 4 guys on the team, and I've always been involved with the world and Olympic training team since 1983. In some capacity, I've always made a swing out to Colorado Springs or Big Bear, California, or wherever it's at. Certainly having Steiner and Zadek here, both alums from Iowa that were guys that I coached, and around their corners when they were in college. This is kind of a, just an aggregate of a lot of things.
Yeah, about two and a half hours. But they're fighting it. Where are you transitioning to?
I'm just here watching the Buckeyes, Team USA. Just being around this culture is just good for you, right? Just a group of guys and girls that are at a really high level, and just surrounding yourself with the right people is always incredibly important. Right now it's about Team USA. It's family now. You put away the school affiliations and you're about Team USA. So you see these guys are from all different institutions around the country, but they're side by side trying to help each other, win gold. It's about progress, just getting better. 10,000 high schools that have wrestling, right? There's about 80 Division I schools that have wrestling. At this level, you're down to the elite of the elite of the elite. There's about 350,000 young people that wrestle in the country, 350,000. You're down to 18 on the national team. It's a pretty elite group. American wrestling is in a good spot. You have 2 world champions that didn't make the team. That's how good we are, because unfortunately, you go from the world championships down to 6 weight classes. 6 weight classes is incredibly challenging to make the U.S. Olympic team now. When I was a kid, there were 10. Now you're down to 6. You're a rare cat if you're making an Olympic team at this point. It's wildly competitive.
Yeah, that right there.
Yeah. We still want to break down that position, right? So we still want to put my head down in the mat.
Like in that position? Yeah. You would think that'd be a good thing, but it feels weird.
You still trying to roll?
Well, we're in Alpharetta, Georgia, the cooler. John Bardis's place down here is facility, and it's Olympic team training camp. So we have all 3 Olympic teams here, all the 3 styles, men's Greco, men's and women's freestyle.
We're about 70 some days. So, about 2 months. And we're immediately getting ready for the Pan American Championships, which is an important event. But we're training through that a little bit. We're really, this is high priority Tokyo focused training. And so we had a previous camp in April. Our intensity levels rising. It's a little less teaching and just more repetition and a little bit of increased intensity and volume. We have high expectations. I mean, we have 5 guys qualified. The women have all 6 qualified. Greco has 4 qualified. And the games haven't happened yet, right? So we're hoping for gold medals out of every one of them.
Now we're double. Where are you going here? Think about where you're going. You're driving up. Are you coming into those Turks? Okay? Again, seeing where you're flowing from here. Maybe you missed the Turk. Lifting up here. Cross knee turn. Lace. Double legs to turns. Let's go.
He's playing a fucking poker hand, and I ain't buying it.
I agree.
Listen, I used to buy animals for a living on the farm. I know when somebody's fucking, if somebody's lying about their lifestyle.
He says he weighs 195.
He wanted to play wrestle all the time, right? Jake, I'd say, well, what do you weigh, Jake? I weigh like 202, which I knew was a lie, right?
Sure.
And after the workout, he got on the scale and was 228.
Oh, okay.
Right, so
Hemingway once said, sometimes it's imperative to let your good friends retain their fiction.
Fair enough.
60-80%, trying to get to their legs. Other person's just blocking them out. I don't want them getting past your head. A pressuring defense. Don't wait for it to come. Rush their offense. Okay, go ahead.
Get him.
Okay, that's what I want to see.
So you want to hear Roy Salcher's story, world silver medalist. I don't think that's the biggest thing he did. I think the biggest thing he did was in 1995 to win the U.S. Open. He took out Kevin Jackson and Kenny Monday in the same day. That isn't the point. He took out Kevin Jackson and Kenny Monday in the same day, and guess who they gave outstanding wrestler to? Not him. I truly can't remember who got it, but it wasn't him.
I can't believe you remember the latter of that story. I still tell Bender all the time, you know what, I'm not one to fudge around and I don't need a bunch of accolades. I take enough, whatever. I know what I've done, but holy smokes, dude. Give me an OW. I've never got an OW. You know what I'm saying? But, and that's amazing that you know the tail end of that story.
But he could only win the Open in odd years. He couldn't win it in an even year. I don't know why that was. I hope that's okay to say, but it's true. He couldn't only in odd years.
Just
1, 3, 5, like things like
bender.
that.
It's like a bender. Sometimes you're running, sometimes you're not. That's the way my life is.
Sure.
If I'm on, Gable always said, when I'm on, I'm on. But Elger, when you're off, you're off.
My older brothers wrestled, so it's been a lifelong dream. And I mean, my name is Gable, Dan, after Dan Gable, so I think it was kind of meant for me to hit this stage. When I started thinking about getting on the Olympic team, probably when I was in high school, that's when everything hit. Every year I was winning state titles, I was winning cadet world titles, junior world championships, and after that, it was just meant to be, I guess. When I was younger, I would talk that talk, but I would win all the matches. But people would say I was cocky, I was this arrogant. But I was getting whooped up by my brother Bobby because he was number 1 in the country in high school, and it was a thing for me to go out on the mat and fight him just because I couldn't handle myself. So I would chase him around the mat. It's been a long time coming, but now I've gotten bigger than him, and he don't step on the mat no more with me. So he knows the deal. But back then he was all that, and he was the deal. So it's crazy. We train for gold. We come to 2-a-day practices for gold. We go to the lifting for gold. I mean, there's nothing else to do but get a gold medal.
Well, hold on. Let me just say this. I did. And I'll tell you what. I was working at a pizza restaurant. I wish I would have known. I wish I would have known that there was going to be some longevity to it. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
And I just didn't buy it. You know, no one. My very first fight, they moved me 3 times. I finally fought in Augusta. You know, and then I got my arm locked by an unbelievable locking guy. You know
Who
what
was
I'm
that? Frank, wasn't it?
No, it was Ensign
Ensign
Inoue.
Inoue.
The worst guy for anybody that's never been in the ring.
Sure.
For a wrestler.
Yes.
Right?
He,
Would
he
you
had
say it
tools
was
to
the
deal with
worst?
the wrestler? Yes.
And I was rooming with Couture. And Couture had these 2 big guys. We had to fight twice a day back then. Fought twice in a night. And I said, I would much rather fight these big guys than that Hawaiian that's fighting off his back. And you know what? Couture was 7-0 and he got locked. He got locked by that same
by Ensign. Yep.
Did
over
you know
in Japan.
that?
Yep. Over in Japan.
Are we coming under? Where are we transitioning from here? From here? To get here, where are we transitioning to? Let's go. Single legs, you got 2 each.
Single leg, same thing. I might do USA boxing after wrestling, man.
No event in wrestling really goes as well as you'd like. It's odd. It's kind of like the mentality of wrestling a little bit. It's like, oh, you did good, but you can get better on these things. And it's probably like that across a bunch of high-level sports. So in this situation, like, yeah, there were things I need to improve on, and 45 minutes in between matches is enough to improve on them. Find out your shortcomings in the championships.
In real time.
Real time. You find out real time. There's no one give you a heads up. It's not like I knew about these things and avoided them in practice. The things I knew about from previous competitions, I focused on. I sharpened them up. Sometimes guys come with different things, or they prepare it in a different manner than you do, and you get exposed a little bit. That's sporting, right? Every year I've had losses, so it's like you always find out, and you're like, all right, well, I need to get better at finishing single leg from this position. You spend a lot of time finishing single leg from that position. Then in your next match, you get beat up in underhooks, or you get turned in parterre. So it's like, all right, well, now I need to get better here. You get better there, and then something you were really good at and slipping a little bit because maybe your focus and your attention has been toward a little different things. So finding that median of where you focus on everything, be super disciplined with everything, give everything the right amounts of attention. When you execute in practice, they're all the correct executions, done in the correct technical manner, at the right intensities, with the right intentions, all those things. I'm used to the guys helping me because I was previously number 1, so then they'd come to camp or wouldn't come to camp, and I'd find guys to get better. As I've gotten older and I realized a little bit more, it's like, set your pride aside, learn, show, teach, help this guy, and in the process of doing so, you'll grow yourself. Don't just be real hidden with everything you do. Like, stretch out a little bit, and in that process of stretching out, I'll learn also.
He shot you, and even if he beat your first line, he beat you. Every now and then your first line is gonna get beat. Still release your sprawl, square your hips, right? Okay? Good shot, Jay. Jack, you throw tight, get the hose up, grab a wrist, grab an underhook.
It's a shot to your pride, like, damn, this guy kicked my ass, now I gotta help him, but that's why we wear USA on our singlets, to beat those other teams. We're, at the end of the day, like, this is Team USA, and we want to see us do well. That's the sport, right?
1, 2, 3, USA! Woo!
Nice work, man. That's the thing.
Should we do it before or after? No, after.
I remember making 6 loads of dough on a Friday to get
pizza dough.
Pizza dough.
Okay.
So I was a pizza restaurant, and I had to fight the next day. So it was still not in the frame of mind where maybe I could make some money. I had a good personality. I would have been a good little fit.